The world doesn't bend for wishes, it bends for will. And most people never realize this because they're too busy begging reality to be easier instead of demanding themselves to be stronger. They wait for life to change when they were born to change it. They wait for signs when they were created to be the sign. But the truth is brutal and liberating all at once. The world does not care what you want. It responds to how you think. Because your thoughts are not small, they are not innocent. Your thoughts are architects, engineers, commanders. They shape how you see, they shape how you move, and eventually they shape what shows up in your life. If your thoughts are confused, your path will be uncertain. If your thoughts are scattered, your results will be diluted. But if your thoughts are focused, unwavering, lit on fire with belief, then the world begins to rearrange itself in your favor. Not because it's easy, not because it's fair, but because you've learned the one law that rules all others: think right and life bends. Napoleon Hill said it like this: whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Not might, not maybe, can. But most people never get to the believe part. They get stuck in wish. They get buried in someday. They say the right words, but their dominant thought is doubt. They move forward, but only halfway, dragging fear behind them like a shadow. You cannot bend the world with half faith. You cannot speak power and secretly think weakness. You must decide fully, ruthlessly, completely who you are and where you're going. That decision is what separates the legends from the lost. Andrew Carnegie did not stumble into wealth. He designed it. He programmed his mind to serve a vision so definite, so clear, so unshakable that steel itself bent to his will. He did not ask the world if it was possible. He told it what was about to happen. That's how a laborer becomes a king, not by chance, but by choice. The choice to dominate one's own mind. The ones who build empires think differently. They don't waste thought on distraction. They don't negotiate with their fears. They don't rehearse defeat in their minds. They are intentional, obsessive, single-minded. And here's the secret no one tells you. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need a high IQ, the right background, or permission. You need a made-up mind. Because once the mind is made up, everything else becomes noise. Setbacks become data. Delays become lessons. Failures become fuel. You stop reacting to the world and start reshaping it. That's what Edison did. 10,000 failed attempts weren't failures to him. They were simply 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb. His belief never wavered because he thought from the end. He thought from the place where the bulb was already lit, and he worked backwards from certainty. This is how successful minds operate. They live inside the vision. They occupy it in thought, in speech, in emotion, and the universe eventually catches up to that energy. The clock is not your enemy, but it will become your master if you refuse to become its commander. Time doesn't ask for your permission. It keeps moving, with or without your permission, with or without your purpose. And that's why the great ones move before the world wakes up. They don't wait to be pushed by the day. They push the day forward. Morning is sacred. The moment you open your eyes, you're either starting a reaction or a revolution. Will you begin by grabbing your phone, feeding your mind junk, consuming other people's priorities? Or will you begin in silence, with intention, with thought, with ownership? Because the first hour of your day is the steering wheel for the rest of it. Napoleon Hill understood this deeply. He didn't just teach the law of success, he lived it. He didn't wake up hoping for clarity. He built clarity into his schedule. He visualized, he planned, and he moved with relentless commitment to the one thing that mattered, his mission. Successful people treat their time like it's sacred, because it is. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most with obsession. That's how Walt Disney turned drawings into a global empire. He wasn't just creative, he was structured. He dreamed like a child, but executed like a general. Structure gives dreams a body. Routine gives vision a heartbeat. And without discipline, your goals remain ghosts, forever haunting you as someday. You have to stop confusing movement with progress. A full calendar doesn't mean a full life. Success isn't about doing 100 things. It's about doing a few things thoroughly, excellently, relentlessly. When you focus on everything, you achieve nothing. But when you focus on one thing, when your mind, time, and energy are aligned, you become a force. Distractions lose their grip, time expands, and the universe bends to the rhythm of your obsession. That's not luck, that's law. You are either designing your day or your day is designing you. You are either living with priorities or you're drowning in obligations. You are either managing your time like a CEO or being managed like an employee of your excuses. You want more? Start acting like time is already running out, because it is. Not to create pressure, but urgency. Not fear, but fire. There is no someday. There is no perfect time. There is only now, the golden moment most waste waiting for permission. But the successful don't ask for permission. They claim time. They declare intention. They bend every second around their purpose until time itself begins to obey. And when you live that way long enough, you no longer chase your goals. Your goals chase you. You become the kind of person time respects. The universe moves for the man who refuses to retreat. It does not move instantly. It tests first. It waits to see if you mean it. And most don't. They crack under pressure. They fold at the first sign of resistance. They mistake temporary discomfort for a permanent no. But the rare ones, they keep coming because their thoughts are not based on circumstances. Their belief is not up for debate. They do not need evidence. They become the evidence. Walt Disney was bankrupt, rejected, and mocked, but his thoughts never wavered. He saw a castle where others saw failure. He believed in magic when the world believed in limitation. And because he refused to surrender that belief, he made the world believe with him. That's how you bend reality. You don't chase it. You build it in the mind first until it becomes so real, so emotionally charged that life itself can't ignore you. That's not ego. That's alignment. Alignment with purpose. Alignment with vision. Alignment with the laws of the universe that always reward clarity, energy, and persistence. Hill called it a definite chief aim, not a vague wish, not a list of goals, a central obsession burned into the subconscious through repetition, emotion, and faith. A mental image so dominant it overrides fear, so vivid it commands your body into motion before you have time to hesitate. When you have a definite chief aim, your life stops being random. You stop asking, what should I do today? You already know. Every day becomes a step. Every hour becomes a brick. You are building something invisible, and because you believe in it, it becomes inevitable. But belief without discipline is nothing more than a dream. You must think like a builder, not a wisher, not a wanderer, a builder of empires. And empires are built with habits. What you do daily reveals what you truly believe. You can say you want success, but if your thoughts are negative and your routines are lazy, your true belief is mediocrity. If you want to shift your reality, shift what you tolerate. Shift how you think when no one's watching. Shift how you move when there's no applause, because that's when it counts. That's when the seeds are planted in the dark, in the silence, in the ordinary moments that most people waste. But not you. You are becoming dangerous. Dangerous to doubt, dangerous to fear, dangerous to every limitation that once held you back, because the way you now think is different. You no longer wonder if it's possible. You assume it is and work backward from that place. You don't beg for results. You command alignment. You don't react to life. You architect it one thought at a time, one decision at a time, one action at a time. This is the power Hill was trying to hand you, not just ideas, but a weapon, not just knowledge, but fire. The kind of fire that once lit in the mind never dies. The kind of fire that bends steel. The kind of fire that bends time. The kind of fire that bends the world.